B-boy. From the old to the new, still a B-boy. Too bold for the school, still a B-boy. East Coast to the West, B-boys worldwide. We supposed to be blessed, still a B-boy.
This week, we're heading to the East to talk about one of the best hip hop duos to ever do it, with one of the best producers in hip hop history providing the backdrop and an MC with a distinctive monotone voice. DJ Premier and Guru gave us a string of classic albums. So this week, top 10 Gang Starr albums. I am almost embarrassed it took this long. Joining me, my man, the Hurricanes in the house,
Yo,
and Roderick's back. Raven couldn't make it today. No judgment. The show must go on. So on it will go. And I'm going to take us to the year 2003. And the album was The Owners. Underrated album. And I'm going with the title track, The Owners. This was the last Gang Starr record released in Guru's lifetime. And we're going to say this over and over through the whole list, but the beat by Primo, it's not only his beats that are next level, it's his scratching that's next level. We'll keep talking about it, but faster beat that Guru keeps up with. Just an amazing run of top tier albums they had, and this was, one of the bookends of that run. So yeah, the title track, The Owners, I wanted to slide it on. I had to kick one off that I really hope someone else has. That was my hope, and we'll see what happens. So Hurricane number 10.
got X Girl to Next Girl off of Daily Operation. This was probably the first Gang Starr song I heard. The horn is so catchy, and the storylines by Guru telling about moving on from one girl to the next. When I heard it, I was like, I need to hear more of these. I need to hear more of these guys.
Good pick. Number 10 for you, Roderick.
Number 10 is Positivity off the No More Mr. Nice Guy album from '89. There wasn't a lot of positivity pushed in the '90s. In the '80s, was a lot of positive music, conscious rap. So this represents the late '80s, represents conscious hip hop, which is highly promoted in the '80s. It also represents the end of conscious rap. Like I said, in the '90s, that went away. This is an uplifting but not too preachy track, smooth beat. I like the trumpets. I like the way the song flowed. In the video, you see a young, skinny DJ Premier cutting it up on the turntables. Another little boy cutting it up too also. And Guru was actually dancing in this video. So he's even doing the splits in a routine. So that was the '80s. It was cool. It was cool to dance. And when I was doing this whole thing, I did it on my my big speaker to listen to it, and it has a lot of bass, which I was very surprised at. So now my number 10 is Positivity.
And I'm glad you brought up the, Guru dancing, because those early videos, like I remember the video for Where's a Manifest had that classic '89 dancing, like they're backup dancers for Heavy D or something. Just that type of style, New Jack Swing almost type dance. Those are the
Sure.
times. All right, number 9. I'm going to take us to the year 1994 and my favorite album by the duo, Hard to Earn. This to me is a 5 mic classic. And I'm going with Code of the Streets. This was a single off this album. It's just a perfect example of 1994's East Coast boom bap rap vibe. It's a video I remember, even though it's a pretty standard video. I think it was on one of my Yo MTV tapes. Of course, the beat and even small things like adding the beeper going off in the background and the overdubs, the subtle scratching of the hook. Usually, Premier's just cutting it up, like he's at a DJ competition, but this one is very subtle and very slow, but it works. And Guru's such an interesting MC. He has no inflection. No matter what he says, it sounds exactly the same. He could say, "Hi, I love you. I hope you fucking die. Give me a number 6 with a Coke." And it's all sounds exactly the same. He never inflects it's amazing. It works. It's just amazing that there's no emotion. It never changes. That I don't mean that in a bad way. So
He kind of makes fun of himself in a couple of the songs, call himself the king of monotone
right.
and stuff like that. super funny. Like he knows. He,
Right. All right, number 9 for you, Kane.
I got Code of the Streets off of Hard to Earn also. I'm probably gonna say this a bunch of times tonight, but a lot of why I love Gang Starr is because of DJ Premier. Guru's dope. There's songs he's better on than other ones, but DJ Premier, he's just next level. And I know you said that already. The scratching, the simple part of the beats too, like just the I'm just gonna throw a little horn in here, and the horn's not gonna go crazy. It's just gonna be done on, it's just gonna be real simple and it makes it. This one, I always got like the James Bond feel from the beat.
Yeah, I could see that.
Reminds me of like, the beginning of a James Bond movie. So that always caught my ear. And Guru, the message about the streets, that's probably my favorite part of Guru is the message that he talks about in the song. Like you said, Robert, the conscious rap, the what he's talking about.
Good pick. That's what I would have picked at number 9. And you're right. I know we're going to keep repeating it, but Premier, I always thought DJ Premier was the best producer in hip hop history. And this just solidified it. Like listening to this much Primo. On all these lists we talk about, well, this beat was done by, DJ Shitstain, and this beat was done by, Rod Smith. I mean, we all know who the beats are done by, but they're all so amazing that he could keep up decades worth of beat making, be that top tier. And it wasn't just Gang Starr albums, he was producing for other people. He was producing whole albums. J. Rue the Damage's second album, Wrath of the Math, which is completely produced by DJ Premier, is one of the best produced albums I think I've ever heard. It's just Primo at his prime, but we're just going to be a broken record. So we'll move on to Roderick at number 9.
Number 9, I got Just to Get a Rep from the Step in the Arena album, 91. This is a good storytelling song about a young dude, street dude, and a little bit too much by trying to get a rep, and he later pays for that with his life. So, but I like the way the beat went with the action. It was like a fast beat on this one. The scratching samples, of course, we just talked about Premier, what he does. I like the fact or the parts when it goes, this is how the story goes before each verse.
Mhm.
And, the scratching of stick up, this is out the tax. Video, like the video a lot, black and white. I love black and white. I think there was a lot of black and white back in the day, hip hop videos, but black and white street video. So my number 9 is Just to Get a Rep.
All right, that might just get brought up again later. We'll have to wait and see. But not at number 8, at least not for me. Because I'm going to 1998's Moment of Truth, and I'm going with the song Militia. From the second the beat drops and the scratching, I mean, come on, you got features Big Shug and Freddie Fox, Bumpy Knuckles. I mean, I'm a huge Bumpy Knuckles fan from the beginning when he was just Freddie Fox all the way to his Bumpy days. Bumpy Knuckles sounds like he's going to come through the speaker and punch you in the face and then bitch slap you and then go back to his verse. I mean, he's so believable, that deep voice, but a nice little posse track. And, both of them are part of the Gang Starr Foundation, which was a bigger, affiliate of Gang Starr. Had like J. Rue in it, Crumb Snatch, Afu Ra, Group Home. There's a bunch of MCs that are part of the Gang Starr Foundation. It's just a great little posse track. They all kill it. And they ended up doing like 4 militias, but this is the first one, and it's my favorite one. So it made it at number 8. What's yours, Kevin? I never call you Kevin. What's yours, Kane?
What I'm here for off a Moment of Truth. Another crazy dope beat. I love the simple piano keys in it, perfectly placed. Guru again with the good flow and has a good message. And I feel they figured out this formula of, Primo's crazy dope beats, the great message, the good flow by Guru, and it's just over and over and over again.
You definitely can see through the albums, at least I thought, how they were building upon each one to get to the kind of their, perfect sound. At least in first 3 records, I really saw evolution in it. And that was an honorable mention. What I'm here for, moment of truth. Roderick, number 8.
Number 8. Okay, so for me, number 8 is Work, Moment of Truth, 1998. So songs about putting in work starts off, with the sample, are you working? What kind of work do
Mhm.
you do? Another sample is, what is it that you want to do when you grow up? So it's all about putting in work. I want to be on Tidop. So this all makes my head bob. Good beat. I really like the way the beat with the piano goes. I felt like the dope beat and the scratching really elevated Guru's laid flow. We just talked about how laid back and monotone he is. This song really brought him out a little bit more. So the beat really carried him on this one. He rode the beat very well on this one. And the quote that he says in this song in the 90s, this was a big quote. I'm going to say the quote, I'm going to explain a little bit more about it. But he says, your bitch really got no ass. She just poked it out. Okay. Back in the 90s, ass wasn't like it was today. Everyone's having surgery,
Mhm.
BBLs, and a whole bunch of stuff. Either you had an ass back in the day or you didn't, and then you poked it out to make it look like you had one. I'm talking about the girls, by the way.
Right.
But yes, that's my number 8 is Work.
So in the 90s, you weren't poking your ass out? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
no, I wasn't.
All
No, I
right.
wasn't. It was the girls. It wasn't me poking my ass.
All right, number 7. We were off one, but same wavelength. 1990s, step into arena just to get a rep. And when I talked about evolution, if you listen to No More Mr. Nice Guy and then Step in the Arena, it's only a year and a half apart, but they really, really, evolved between those two records. And that's not a diss at the first record. It's just they really took it the next step. And I know a lot of, I hate to use the word hip hop purists, but think this is their best record, and they have all these explanations. And to me, they hadn't hit their prime yet. But just to get a rep was a great step in the right direction. Has nice and smooth sample in the hook, more magic from Primo. Just great subject matter, crazy things you'll do just to get a rep, and usually backfires. So just to get a rep, number 7. What is yours, Kane?
I got Work off a Moment of Truth.
Ah,
I think I have three songs off this album, and I didn't expect that going through this list. But again, you can't deny how dope the beat is. It would be, you imagine, like, hey, I got a beat CD for you to listen to, and this is the stuff that you're getting to listen to and rap over. Like, just, just crazy dope. Again, Guru is flowing over it. I love the chorus, the tit up part. He's flowing over this thing.
and that is one thing, these faster beats, Guru was able to keep up.
Yeah.
He never sounded like he was struggling on a faster beat or not. And you're right, I never looked at it that way. I mean, man, Guru had it good. Oh, we are still in 7, Roderick.
Number 7. Okay, my number 7 is off of the Owner's album, Who Got Guns, featuring Fat Joe and MOP. So this song is all about guns, okay? I like the dangerous, unsafe feeling I get on this one. I'm not sure if it's my military experience shooting guns, but it starts off strong with Fat Joe, Joey Crack, and coming in right after him is Fame from MOP, coming in hard. They do a lot of ad libs and things like that. I really like MOP. Um, Fame says in this one, which I like, he says, I'm from Christopher, bitch. Bang with the Wallace. Another way saying that I'm from Brooklyn,
Right.
Christopher Wallace, Biggie Smalls. So I like the way he said that. I like the hook with Method Man sample. Um, Guru goes third, held his own, and stayed in his lane. Talked about copping property and a case of them guns. And one of his quotes in the song that I liked is he says, fuck Prudential. I got my own protection plan. So I really like that verse. And this song had a lot of high energy. And if you like guns, you'll definitely like this song. So My number 7 is Who Got Guns?
That was an
That was one
honorable
of them.
mention.
Yeah.
And I've said this before, but every time I hear MOP on a track, I always like, oh, MOP are really dope. I don't think of myself as like a big MOP fan, but every time I hear them, just those like almost yelling overdubs and back and forth, it's just like we said with Bumpy, so believable. I mean, I believe that they would just beat me down for a little,
You know,
problem.
and I'm glad
What
you
you
hear
say?
that with MOP, because I hear that very clearly, and I get excited when they do that, and it's
Right.
like it's their thing, and it's like, I just love it. So I'm glad you shared that you like it too.
All right, number 6. It was brought up before. I didn't think it would make anyone's list, especially mine. But sometimes you gotta look in the mirror. For the first time, I'm going to 92's Daily Operation. X Girl the Next Girl. Usually not a type of song I'm a huge fan of, but ever since 1992, when I bought this tape at Musicland, this like jazzy beat just was an earworm. It always stuck in my mind. The girls look so good sample. I mean, I would just walk around all day saying that, and I still am all these years later. And all us players can relate to love and relationship songs. Those are always going to be timeless. In 1,000 years, people are still going to have relationship issues. And I thought this album was a bit of a step back from Step in the Arena, but they more than made up for it with the 3 albums after it. It's not a bad album. I just kind of thought it was a little stumble backwards. I don't like it as much as I did the before and after. But X Girl the Next Girl is an absolute earworm to me, so had to make the list. Number 6. You are up, King.
You know my steez off Moment of Truth. I realized that I put 3 albums off a Moment of Truth on, and then I put them all right in a row too. So that's cool. But such a great beat again, a great message. I do love the meaningful music, and then and still now. They helped hip hop evolve in set a new bar in production and subject rap, I feel, with their evolution, like you talked about them getting better. I really thought that helped you know they helped grow hip hop as it was developing, as they were developing. They were helping bring it along. And then I have this note here. We talked about that Luke Cage show.
Yeah. Did you
So
watch
I
it?
started so I started watching it. The first season, all of the names of the episodes are Gang Starr songs.
Oh, I forgot that. I must have noticed it at the time, but
I
I don't
was
remember
like,
that. That's dope.
yeah. So then I went to the second season, and they're all Pete Rock and CL Smooth songs.
Huh.
All the names of the second
It's a
season.
good show, right? It's a
Yeah.
dope
I was
show,
like,
yeah.
yeah. I was like, that's pretty cool. But
That
anyways,
is
I want to add that.
interesting. I
Yeah.
must have missed that when I was watching it in real time. My Steve's honorable mention, classic Gangstar song, probably would have made a top 15. Flirted with 10 maybe for a day or two, but glad it got brought up. What are you bringing up, Roderick, at number 6?
I'm bringing up another Moment of Truth album, a song. It's called It's a Setup. So when I heard this featuring Hannibal Stax, I didn't know who Hannibal Stax was until I heard this song. I actually never heard this song before, and I listened to it about 20 times. I really liked it. I was like, is this gonna make the list? And it was like, okay, this is definitely making the list. So the beat sounds like someone's scheming on something, someone's plotting. The song's about the powers that be that are plotting on their demise. So they're going to upset the setup of whoever's trying to destroy them. So I kind of like what's going on here. This is one of the best beats for Guru to flow on to me. When I hear him on this track, it's like the perfect beat for him. Really complimented his voice and his pace of rhyming, real laid back beat, but super hard at the same time. And Hannibal Stacks goes second after Guru and hits a home run and brings the team home to win the championship in this one. I don't know who this guy is. First time I heard him, this guy is dope. Never heard of Hannibal Stacks, but I know who he is now. Fire song.
And we've brought the album up multiple times. Moment of Truth was better than I remember it. Like I had kind of forgot just how great it was. I knew it was a good album, but re-listening to it, I was like, damn, I kind of forgot how good Moment of Truth is. Well, for your number six, you brought up one that may probably won't make anyone's list and is kind of, out of left field. And I did too. My number five, I would be shocked if it made anyone's list. It's from 94's Hard to Earn. And the name of the song is The Planet. I looked it up. There's 7 different samples in this beat. This beat always fascinated me. It just was like musical craziness. So I had to look up the samples. There is 7 different samples to this beat, but it works so damn good. And, maybe that's the reason I love it. Maybe it's the storytelling. He's telling a story about, he's from Boston originally and, growing up and leaving Boston to become an MC, maybe that's why it hit me so much. Or maybe it's a combination, just this not crazy beat because it doesn't sound like, oh shit, he's putting all this stuff in here. He puts all this stuff in here, but it works. And it just hits me on almost the next level. But cool storytelling. Again, Primo's a genius with the beats, genius with the samples, genius with the scratching. He's one smart mofo. So The Planet, a lot of people won't know that track, but it's a nice little storytelling track with mad samples. Kane, what's in the middle of your list at number five?
Play to Win off of the Owner's album. It's too bad that this was the last Game Star album. RIP Guru. It's definitely my favorite. I know it's not the popular opinion, but I think Guru is at his best on this album. I think he raps better on this album than any of the other ones. And sometimes I forget how dope this song is until it comes on. Like I focus on other songs on the album, and then this song, I'm like, oh yeah, and it bounced around my list a bunch, and this is where it landed. But love the beat, love the scratching, love the message. Like I've said, a bunch of times, you play the game to win. Love all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely Guru left too soon. Like 5 years ago, they put out the one that was just leftover verses. I don't know if you checked that out. It's called One of the Best Yet. But it's not a true Gangstar album to me.
Yeah.
It's more of just, what they do when someone dies and they pick and choose the shit that never made it and then add a bunch of other artists. All right, we are still in five, Roderick.
Number five is Capture the Militia Part 3. Chris, you said there was 4 parts. I went with number 3. The first Militia I really liked, but the reason I chose this one, first of all, it's featuring Big Suge and Freddie Fox. I felt like the beat was harder, and I like the scratching done on this. This is probably the first time in my life that I picked a part 3 over 1 and 2. What I liked is it was a harder beat, like I said. The samples that Premier was cutting up for the hook elevated the song. And like you mentioned, Chris, anything that Bumpy Knuckles, Freddie Fox says, I usually like because it's hard. He spits that shit, and he is believable. So I do believe the things that he's talking about either have been done or will be done. So either it's been done or he's gonna do it. So yeah, I believe him.
Militia 3, honorable mention. I actually have the other militias 2, 3, and 4. And 2 was the interesting one. I don't think anyone will pick it, but it features Rakim and Dub C from West Side Connection, and it works. I think it works.
I'm gonna disagree with you.
Okay.
It's all opinion.
Right.
I like that one, but West Side Connect, he didn't go with that, in my opinion. I like him with West Side Connection and West Coast, but like his rhyme style kind of threw it off for me. But
He definitely rhymes different than Guru and Rakim. He did do his basic. He's got just like a, classic type stutter flow that he does. And All right, we are on four, and I'm going back to 1990, Step Into the Arena. And one thing I found when I was typing up is I'm calling it 1990 Step Into Arena because that's what all the dates say on the back, on the front. But it wasn't, I was seeing sometimes 91, 90. So I did some more digging. It was pressed in 1990, but came out the second week of January 1991. That's why there's a discrepancy. So if anyone's saying that's not the right date, it came out in 1991. I'm just saying 1990. I don't know. I probably didn't need to go through all that, right? I'll maybe cut that out.
Let them know, man. Let them know. Let them know.
No, get it off your
In the
chest,
second
man.
week in
Right.
January, get it straight.
Yeah.
Let them know.
I know it came out in 91. I'm just saying it's stamped 1990. But the song I'm going with is As I Read My Essay. Talk about faster beats. This is a faster beat, and the scratching again just always got me. And Guru rides it perfectly. I know we've talked about it, but he also does a lot of compound rhymes throughout this. If you really listen, he's doing almost like that Rakim compound rhyme style through this whole song, and it's a faster one, which makes it even more impressive. This song, when I had this tape in 1991, um, was by far my favorite. I always would play this one over and over and over, and I believe it was like the last one on side one. It was either the last on one or the first on, side two. But as I read my essay, it's just some damn good hip hop. The hook, the scratching, it's as simple as that. Why I love it. So that was number four. Kane, number four.
I got Mass Appeal off of Hard to Earn. Such a popular Gang Starr song. It's been featured in video games, TV shows, everywhere. The beat is so dope with just the simple notes to it. I saw this thing when I was writing down stuff today that Primo said that the song was made as a joke for the radio. That's why he made the beat so simplistic, is that it was made in fun. It was made as a joke, and then it took off on the radio, and he was like, "Oh, well, whatever." I love that. And I said this before, but in this song, Guru kind of pokes fun at himself a little bit, saying that with my monotone
Mhm.
style, and I love that part.
Right. Yeah, that does stick
Yeah,
out. I
yeah,
always think rap along to that part.
yeah.
Definitely a dope Gang Starr song. Number four for you, Roderick.
Number four for me is Above the Cloud, Moment of
There it
Truth,
is.
featuring Inspector Deck. First of all, I love the way this song started, sampling those old voices from the 60s or 50s. I don't know what samples voices, someone talking about space, and there's some weird noises in the beginning. You don't even know what the beat's going to sound like for about 20 seconds. A little bit of scratching done in there, a little bit. Still, the beat hasn't dropped. Eventually, the beat drops. Guru goes in, laid back track, complements his voice. And then Inspector Deck comes in and does his Wu Tang style flow, which is different from Guru. And I like the way Inspector Deck sounded on this one. So my number four is Above the Clouds.
A huge honorable mention. That probably would be number 12. You know what? It's too bad, like Inspector Deck never made it to the popularity level of like Meth or even like Ghostface, because he is so amazing at such amazing MCing. He shows it in this song right here. So brings us to the top three. Now it's time for the big dogs to come in. 1998's Moment of Truth. It was brought up before though. Work. Just the beat to scratching. It's just if you said explain Gang Starr in one song, this would be a great one to choose. It's just like this is what Gang Starr is all about. Amazing album after a 4 year we waited 4 years from Hard to Earn to this, and it was worth the wait. Moment of Truth is so underrated, and again, great hook, again, great scratching on point. There's nothing else I can really say about it. It's just a dope Gang Starr song. So Work slid in at number three. Okay, what's in your number three?
I got Step in the Arena off of Step in the Arena. This is the first song on the album, and they just kill it. Um, I didn't I didn't really know about Mr. Nice Guy. I thought this was their first album for a long time. And I was like, what a way to start like with this song. It just so dope. Beats so dope. Guru is just flowing. I find myself catching the rhythm to the song off of Guru's flow on this one. He's so on top of this beat. He rides this beat so well.
Yep, honorable mention. Great way to start the album, like you said. And it's interesting you say that because, I like to pride myself back then of being up on everything right away when it came out. And I know I didn't own Mr. Nice Guy, even though I was buying rap tapes. I didn't have that right away. I think I didn't get it till after stepping to the arena, even though I knew like words on manifest and things like that. I probably had like a dub tape with that on it, but I didn't either. Wasn't on, a first dayer with Gang Starr. But then went back and got it eventually. Number 3 for you, Roderick.
Number 3 for me is off of the Step in the Arena, which we just talked about. Who's gonna take the weight? This starts off with the audio. I believe it's Farrakhan. I don't know,
Yep.
more samples. Knowledge is power, and knowledge could be the difference between life or death. You should know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Then the song starts. So it gives you some powerful, reinforcing positivity, some a good thing to go with. For me, this song is all about Premier. It like Guru, he could have been missing in this one. I like the little whiny noise that's happening throughout the whole song with Premier scratching. The whiny whistly sound stops during the hook, and that's where Premier scratches. You can't handle the whole weight. You can't. Anyways, you guys know what I'm talking about.
Right.
But yeah, scratches it up. Then he goes back into the whistling. And then for the last verse, he does the same thing and he scratches up the whistling sound. So that sound, you can't forget that sound. Like when I heard that, that was like in my mind for days and weeks, and I would play it, and it was like I'd never heard that sound put in a song. Like it's throughout the whole song. So it was a pretty risky move to just put that sound whistling noise throughout the whole thing. I like the video, very simple. Gang Starr in a room, empty room. It's got the floating Technique 1200s hanging there. Got DJ scratching, and the video has just flashing clips of throughout with famous black strong leaders from like back in the day in the 70s and 80s and things like that. So that is my number 3 is who's gonna take the weight, step into the arena.
Definitely an honorable mention. That was one of the singles off that record too. Another one I'm glad, and I thought would make someone's list. Getting another one crossed off.
I will say this: usually, when we get to this point, you and I kind of hit some of the same ones. You got a lot of honorable mentions that I got really high up on
Yeah,
the
that's.
chart right there.
I have a lot of honorable men. I had to cut down the honorable mention list. Another thing, talking about all these primo beats, he's one of the few I could listen to these gangs. I love Guru, but I could listen to these Gangstar albums, just the instrumental versions. And there's not a lot of albums I can say that. I mean, yeah, I like dope beats, but I was always more about the MC, what he's saying. It was the art of rapping that caught my imagination in the beginning, right? But fucking Primo is just, I mean, I know we're repeating ourselves, but just next level. And my number 2, no one's brought up yet. And I thought it would make maybe everyone's list, but it'd be lower in the 9s and 10s. So we'll see what happens. And I'm actually going to 2003's The Owners, and I'm going with the song Skills. Talk about some true MC shit. This is MC in every sense of the word. Just tip top boom bap production. I mean, every single last thing that's great about hip hop is in this song Skills. And what a great name for the song because they both are showing off their skills. And a little bit faster beat again. Guru rides it almost as well as he has on any other song. Great hook. It gets me hype. Got that little KRS-One skills sample. Great video. It always sticks in my head. And by 2003, I wasn't watching videos like I was back in the day, but this video is in my head, so I must have been when peeping it out or something. You know, half of it is following Guru Rock walking down the street. It's like one long shot. He's just it's like following him and giving people dabs and Primo's he runs into Primo and all this stuff. And the second half is an empty warehouse. It's just turntables, a bunch of vinyl records. There's a graph artist, tagging the wall. It's just everything about hip hop. And this might be the best Guru ever flowed. So Skills went in at number 2 for me. And we
Before
lost
we go
him.
to end, I'm glad you described that video because describing videos to me, I'm gonna go immediately and go see exactly what you just said. So thank you for that because I love visuals.
Right. No, it's like hip hop personified that video. What's number
It was
2 for
Skills.
you? Skills,
Um,
yes.
I got number two off of that same album, The Owners, Right Where You Stand. Love, love, love this song featuring Jadakiss. I've been listening to a lot of Mac Miller lately, and he even has a line. He says, "Call Primo and leave you right where you stand." And I was like, "That's so dope." It's been referenced so many times, but again, the beat, simple but so good. Every element is perfectly placed. The verses are on point. The message done playing, and like it's a song that you listen to it and you're like, all right, I'll leave right. All right, keep it up. I'll leave it right where you stand.
Mhm.
I love that.
I've said multiple times like I like him, but I'm not a huge Jadakiss or even Locks fan. They just never really hit me. But Jada kills this verse. This was an honorable mention. He kills this verse. Absolutely, no doubt about it.
I
Whew.
like Jadakiss. I do
Most
think
people
Jadakiss
do.
had.
Most people do.
I do think he had like the Kiss of Death album. I do think he got into a zone with that album, and I love the Kiss of Death album. I do think that was kind of his peak, and then
Mhm.
um, I don't. I still like his stuff, but that album is just. I would put that album on a top list of something.
With number 2 for Roderick.
All right, my
Number
number
2.
two off of that album that we said was slept on. Moment of Truth. And my song, and this song is one of my top 5 hardest beats ever. All for the cash. Man, this is one of my top 5 hardest beats ever, especially the way it starts with the snares, scratching and cutting with the hook. You know, take the money, never have to run. One of my favorite storytelling songs of all time. We remember we talked about KRS-One having those
Right.
one of my favorite storytelling songs, but this is one of my top ones also. So this song is one of the most tragic, betrayal, sad ending stories in hip hop. You know, Guru did a great job of leading us deeper and deeper into this story and keeping our attention to finally ending it with a bang, literally a death, a life sentence, an accessory to murder over 50K. It was a sad story, but it was one of my favorites. So the heartbeat and the tragic story really drew me in to really love this song. This would be my number one if my number one wasn't as impactful as it was in my life. So that's my number two, all for the cash, man.
Moment of Truth might have got the most mentions tonight. It's close. Um,
Yeah.
Definitely a good album. But that's not where I'm going with my number one. About every third list, it's like, all right, we're doing this artist. About 1 out of 3, right in my number one. There's no debate. Very rarely has it ever changed as far that I'll get that my mind will change. But this one, number one, was number one. There was nothing unless a new unknown Gang Starr album came out that I hadn't heard was gonna dethrone it. And that's 1994's Hard to Earn, yes, Mass Appeal. And it was a single off this. It's one of their more, well-known ones. But this Even the simplicity of it is one of my favorite beats, period, ever in hip hop. I don't know if I can describe why. It's just from the beginning, it just gets me, and the scratching is on point. And Guru raps like real smooth as silk and with that monotone style. And this song, it literally hits me more than just a song I really like or I think is really dope. This is one of them, rarer songs that like hits my soul, makes me introspective. It just puts me in this mood, like just vibing, takes me out of real life. Mass Appeal does that every time I hear it. Had to be number one. Just genius. Dope album, dope song, dope single. Mass Appeal. My number one. Kane, I know it's not yours, so what is yours?
No, no, that was my number four. I got what your number two was. I got Skills off the
Nice.
Owners.
Oof.
I mean, the title of the song says it perfectly. This is the best, in my opinion, that he ever does. His MC skills on this song are out of this world. The beat, as always, next level, but not overdone. Guru kills it. I can't ever skip this song, even when something when a different song will come on the random and it's the owner's album. I'll
Mhm.
shut the random off, listen to that song, and then listen to Skills, turn the random back on, and move on. Love this song.
Roderick, you haven't mentioned skills. You haven't mentioned Mass Appeal. Either of those your number one?
Actually, no, but I have a
Oh,
question
wow.
that I found out the answer today. Do you know why Guru was on the positivity, conscious type of rap, uplifting, proud to be black? Do you know why he was all these things? Well, I didn't know, but his father was a judge and his mother was a librarian.
Hmm? Interesting. I never knew that. Yeah.
I never knew that till today. I was like, oh, okay, that explains he comes from a good home. He's
Thinking.
got a good
Right.
upbringing.
Well, yeah, books around him and stuff to read
Right.
up on.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be really, it's hard to be a gangster when your father's a judge and your mother's a librarian where she's making
But
you
that's the
read.
cool thing about Gang Starr, it didn't need to be gangster. It was it was hip hop evolving at the time to be, you know, to
And I thought
be
about it.
more
I
conscious.
thought, and I thought about another thing while we were just talking right now. I thought about why he's so monotone because his mother was a librarian. He had to be quiet.
Better quiet your ass down.
Can't raise his voice. It
Right.
just stuck with him.
Yeah. Okay.
All
So
right, number one.
my number one. This was the first song I heard from Gang Starr. It represented the good old days of the 80s. I used to be a hip hop dancer. So this represents my dancing days. I always got excited when this song came on. Chris, you said something earlier about people jumping up in the video or dancing. I love the video of this song. What I thought was ironic in this video is when I saw Guru for the first time, he was on the podium preaching to
Right,
the
like
crowd.
Farrakhan or like, yeah, yeah.
Exactly. And I was going to say that he looked exactly like Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
and he happened to be a conscious rapper, so he had the look and he looked like Malcolm X. So the song is Manifest Remix. So off of No More Mr. Nice Guy, the first album that came out 1989. That was the first time I saw Guru. That song really moves me. I could hear it right now and still want to dance. It won't be the same as it was when I was young, but I'll make an attempt. But this is my number one, and it still makes me dance till this day. So when I hear it, so that's my number one.
That killed. That was on my list until yesterday, and I have on my notes under honorable mentions number 11. That
Yes.
is a classic song. I felt guilty, but I'm like, got to have that song. It's too classic, so I'm glad you had it.
And that's what,
Um,
and like you said, Chris, you know you're number one from the beginning, and you work backwards.
right. Definitely, definitely. So honorable mentions. If you're joining for the first time, if a song didn't get mentioned by anybody and I thought it needs some love, quick give it an honorable mention. From No More Mr. Nice Guy, I also like Got You and jazz music, which, so from the very beginning, that jazz element was always in there. And, then Guru would do, without Premier, the Jazz Mataz albums. So I thought that's kind of interesting. And Step in the Arena, Form of Intellect, Take a Rest, Say Your Prayers. From Daily Operation, I'm the Man. It's a really great beat. From Hard to Earn, I thought someone might have Dwick on there, right? With Nice and Smooth. That's a classic Gang Starr song. Speak It Clout, you got Jeru the Damagey on there, which I'm a huge fan of. Tons of Guns. From Moment of Truth, Royalty. And from one of the best yet, Militia 4, there's a song called Hitman. And Militia 2 is actually on Full Clip, which is their greatest hits album. But I don't believe part 2 is on anything else because there's a few songs, like the first song on there, they're R.I.P. to Big L, and they rap. I believe is also only on Full Clip. And a deeper cut from the Trespass soundtrack, they have a song on there called Gotta Get Over. That has almost made my list. It was on the list for a while. So are we missing anything? A lot of dope Gang Starr songs.
They have the full clip song on that
Right.
album. That's just on that
Yeah.
album too, right?
So that greatest hits album was 2 discs. And there's a handful that are just on there. Then the rest is like greatest hits.
Soliloquy of Chaos.
Oh, that's a good song.
I like that song too. That was really the only one that no one mentioned that I had.
I had Discipline with Total. I really like that one. I don't know if you guys remember that one. It's like more of an R&B,
Right.
90s. It kind of like it was during that time, early 90s, when R&B and hip hop was coming together, and like kind of like how Method Man came with Mary J. Blige and that kind of stuff. So he had a song with Total that I liked it. It almost made the list.
I'm glad we finally got to Gang Starr. For real, one of the greatest, duos in hip hop history. I was trying to think of all the best duos of all time, these last couple days. And I guess it all depends what you count as a duo. I mean, is Run DMC a duo? No, because I got J Master J. Is EPMD a duo? Yeah, but they also had DJ Scratch. So it depends on your definition. But even if whatever your definition is, Gang Starr's still in the conversation. That a producer can be that dope. MC match perfectly. It's just, yeah. Have a good night. I'm gonna go watch the rest of Thursday Night Football. So, peace.
Still a B-boy, from the old to the new, still a B-boy. Too bold for the school, still a B-boy. East Coast to the West, B-boys worldwide, we supposed to be blessed. Still a B-boy, from the old to the new, still a B-boy. Too bold for the school, still a B-boy. East Coast to the West, B-boys worldwide.